The New York Jets have made an unexpected signing as more free agency moves have came the Jets' way, as Darren Mougey has signed a young player with a lot of potential, and this has major implications on the New York Jets' future at the tight end position in regards to players on the roster currently and also involving the NFL draft as well, and we're going to break all of that down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and if you guys are enjoying the channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for 4,000 subscribers. We are on that roll. Any single move that happens in free agency, one of us or both of us will be making a video on it, so you guys do not want to miss out. You guys are killing it with the subs. Let's keep it up, but also we have a lot to talk about, so let's jump into the video. But real quick, guys, I'm super excited to announce that we are kicking off a March Madness bracket for the channel. We've partnered with the Hot Takes app and other digest channels for this event. It's completely free to sign up. Just download the Hot Takes app, click the March Madness banner at the top, and then under groups, select the Digest Media Pool. This is really exciting as there's over $25,000 in prizes to be won, and since there's a much smaller pool of people participating, there's a real chance in winning big compared to other bracket challenges out there. Check out the link down below or scan the QR code to download the app, and make sure to use the promo code DIGEST in all caps to get exclusive perks when signing in. Again, it's completely free to sign up, and if you have any trouble, feel free to email us at the email down below, and we look forward to seeing you in the March Madness pool. You guys think you could beat us in a bracket challenge? Prove it. But let's jump into the video because we do have a lot to discuss. The New York Jets made another signing, as we already mentioned, as according to Ian Rappaport, who broke the news, the Jets are signing former Chargers tight end Stone Smartt, great name, on a one-year deal, a source said, and that he's a restricted free agent who was non-tendered, and he came on late in the season, and the New York Jets love the upside of this move. So obviously, this is a guy who Darren Mougey likes the potential of, and Matt, this follows the same path. This follows everything that we've already seen with Darren Mougey's free agency. They're signing younger guys. They're signing guys who are making their move to their first new team in the NFL after the team that drafted him. I did phrase that pretty weirdly, but I realized it as I was saying it. But like, effectively, these are guys making their first signing with a new team, and it's interesting to see that this has been Darren Mougey's strategy. There is a lot to consider with this, and Stone Smartt is an interesting player to add to the New York Jets. He's had 3 years in the NFL, all with the Chargers, 26 years old, just bit my tongue. He's only started 6 games out of the 38 in his NFL career. He's a tight end too, but last season he had 208 yards with 13 yards per reception, and the year before that he had 14.1 yards per reception with, in 2023, his 1 NFL touchdown. So this is a guy who the Jets like the potential of, Matt. I'm interested in this signing. It feels very low risk for the Jets, which seemingly has been a good amount of their deals thus far. So this is interesting to see. Definitely fits the mold of the Jets bringing on guys just coming off their rookie contracts, which they've almost exclusively done up to this point.
So, yeah, you're right. It's following this trend of the Jets signing low-risk players, but potentially guys who could yield high rewards. Stone Smartt is the biggest question mark that we've signed so far. I mean, college started at Northern Arizona. If you've ever heard of that, then if you have heard of that, you definitely haven't heard of Riverside City, where he transferred for the next year. But then he came out of, and then he had 3 seasons at Old Dominion, or 2 years, 1 canceled by COVID. So we don't really know what this guy is. And then he goes to the Chargers as an undrafted free agent in 2021 or in 2022. And then he is a backup behind Will Dissly and doesn't really do anything until Will Dissly got injured. So this is the biggest question mark. We really have no idea who this guy is. What we do know, I'm hearing that he's not a very good run blocker, which would be evidenced by his weight. His height and weight, the tight ends that are highly productive in the NFL, the heights and weights that you're looking for, 6'4" to 6'6". He's 6'4", so he checks that box.
Yeah.
The weight you're looking for is 245 to 255. He is 226 pounds, so severely underweight for the tight end position, which is no doubt hurting his run blocking, and that's going to hurt his ceiling as a run blocker if he can't put more weight on. Another fun fact I actually read about him, at Old Dominion, he played quarterback and wide receiver, which is funny because neither one of those are tight end. Now, obviously with all these small guys that we don't know a lot about, like me and Chris aren't going to sit here and lie and be like, oh yeah, we're watching film on Stone Smartt, because of course we're not. But what we do know that Pro Football Focus is watching film on this guy, and he didn't even play enough snaps to satisfy to be put into their system and get a ranking. He didn't even he wasn't even a qualified tight end this season. But for on those limited snaps, his grades are pretty good when he did play. He has one game week 14 this season against the Kansas City Chiefs where he received a 93.4 overall grade, which is elite, elite, elite. But his other grades when Will Dissly was injured, a 50.5, a 71.8. So you can average those out if you want to figure out where his grade was during those 3 games that Will Dissly missed. But he's a guy, I mean, the grades show that he has some potential, but we got to remember when he's playing in shorter spurts, the grade is less telling of actually how good that player is because he could have just had a couple good snaps and that is skewing the numbers. Like, so he might, these don't tell the whole story because he didn't have a whole lot of snaps, but what we do know about him is, like you said, he's still young and there is no risk to this signing. Just a 1-year deal. The New York Jets front office this season, they've put an emphasis on getting guys on short-term contracts. So next season, we can just the front office is going to be able to reset. And in 2 years, when we are done paying off Aaron Rodgers' salary, we are going to have a ton of cap flexibility because other than the Brandon Stevens signing, nothing that we're doing right now is going to affect our cap hit long term.
Yeah, I mean, everything has been these short-term cap hit deals, which, well, it does signify the Jets. There's just no way around saying it. I'm trying to not say it because we talked about this right before. There's no way around it. This signifies rebuilds. Like, it's clear. And look, a lot of these signings are younger guys that do have high potential, and I like that the Jets are doing that. It makes the most sense for this team right now. I think Darren Mougey's making smart choices with this. He's being very aware of the cap space. And on top of that, something to mind is just obviously the Aaron Rodgers situation, the cap hit that has. On top of the fact, Allen Lazard is on the Jets. Like, he's still here. The Jets still owe him money. They understand that there's a good chance they will have to pay Allen Lazard some money here. So they're not trying to allocate long-term deals that would mess with cap in the longer term. The Jets are not trying to do some 5-year rebuild where things are going to take really slowly. They're trying to do a jump-started one where in a year, 2 years from now, they're a real threat in the AFC. And these moves signify, hey, one of these guys is likely to break out, potentially more. We like the potential of what we're seeing out of these guys. We think they fit our system. We think they fit our team, and we believe in this working. And this is what the Stone Smartt move is. It signifies that the Jets do believe in a guy like Smartt to be a like vertical threat tight end. Because again, being 226 pounds at 6'4" is not the size you want from a tight end. He's not going to be able to block well. So he's going to be a guy going vertical off the line of scrimmage or something like that usually. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him. Obviously, their other tight end as of right now is Tyler Conklin. No, Tyler Conklin's a free agent. Sorry. The crazy part is I wasn't even thinking of him. It's just the name came to mind. Speaking of Conklin, though, it does mean that I feel like this kind of signifies he likely might not be re-signing because Jeremy Ruckert's on the roster, who his face was in my head when I said Conklin, and I can prove it. There he is, right there on the screen. I was thinking of Jeremy Ruckert, just said the wrong name. But Jeremy Ruckert, also now on this team, was the tight end for Justin Fields. There's a world where they want to give Ruckert a real chance to try to succeed at the NFL level after spending the entirety of his career thus far as the tight end two behind Conklin. Obviously, the other option as well is we see what happens with Tyler Warren. So this does become super interesting, Matt, to see how they're going to look at the rest of the tight end position going forwards.
Yeah, my number one takeaway from seeing a signing, I looked at it and said, the plan for 2026 better not be to start Snow. It got me too.
It's a harder name to say than you'd think.
It does. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be difficult.
Stone Smartt's hard.
The plan better. That's not even what I was gonna say. The plan better not be to start Stone Smartt.
That's harder.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, that's a little harder to say. So we better have something else cooking up. Whether it we've talked about trading down in the draft. I would much rather trade down to 20 and get a first round pick for next year and then draft Colston Loveland out of Michigan instead of drafting Tyler Warren at 7. I mean, Colston Loveland, let the injuries of like Colston Loveland and Will Johnson make you forget how good these guys are when they're on the football field. That's how steals are created in the NFL draft. People forget how good some of these players are. Yes, Colston Loveland is not the blocker that Tyler Warren is, but if you can get some picks on top of Colston Loveland, sign me up for that. We know the New York Jets are going to be needing more draft picks next year because our last GM did not hit on enough day 2 picks, so we're going to need more talent on cheap contracts if we're going to be able to contend in 2026 and 2027. So I would be all on board for that, even though I do love Tyler Warren. Tyler Conklin, I'm all on board with re-signing Tyler Conklin. Surprised that he hasn't found a home yet, seeing how we've seen Mike Gesicki already get signed, and then there was another tight end who got signed, not Zach Ertz or John Bates, but there was another guy, I'm blanking on his name, but Juwan Johnson. That's the name of the other tight end who got signed. That guy I would have been also on board for. So the Jets, they're passing up on just all these free agent tight ends. It's a little bit confusing because we need one. So maybe you could say that makes it more likely that they're going to draft a Tyler Warren, but they also haven't picked up a reliable starter at right tackle. And Chris, you know me, I want to make sure that offensive line is as good as it can possibly be. I know it's impossible to find tackles in the NFL. So when you get a chance to draft one, the plan for the Jets is to never be high enough again in the draft where you can get a shot at a Kelvin Banks Jr., where you can get a shot at an Armand Membo, when you can get a shot at a tackle who you can reliably believe that is going to be a long-term tackle for your franchise. We don't want to be in the range where we're drafting guys that we're that sure about. But as long as we're here, I want to make sure we get the guy that's going to be the commodity that's difficult to get. Tyler Warren, I really think you can draft someone almost as good as him in the second round. You can sign someone almost as good of him as him for cheaper money in free agency. Also, if you got Tyler Warren, he is going to be less expensive in free agency because the tight end position does not get paid as much as tackles do, which is why I want to get a tackle on the rookie contract so we don't have to pay them as much and we can protect the most important position, which is going to be quarterback. We're either going to have Justin Fields, who last year had the 5th highest time to throw in the league, so he needs to be protected, or we're going to have a rookie quarterback after Justin Fields, who, again, is going to be a rookie quarterback, so he's going to have to be protected. So no matter which way you cut it, the New York Jets are going to need 2 bookend tackles, and right now we have no idea who that right tackle is even going to be.
Odds are that after you said that, someone already has commented, or Jordan Travis. What are the odds?
I feel like people are starting to realize that Jordan Travis is probably not the answer.
It's just never, again, like, not to beat the dead horse of it, but it's never happening. This new regime's not playing a quarterback who was picked in the 5th round and not drafted by them. It's just
he's gonna have to show something special in training camp and the preseason, which he's probably not gonna do.
Especially rusty.
As far as Adrian Martinez is most likely absolutely done. He's actually a free agent now. I would not expect Adrian Martinez. Now that we have Fields, Taylor, and Travis.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything out of Adrian Martinez, although I would have loved to see him get a game in.
It's also just, in my mind, it's so likely that the Jets will wonder if they could trade Jordan Travis for literally anything. Literally any sort of draft pick.
I would take a 7th rounder. I would take a
7th rounder. For Jordan Travis?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I wouldn't do like a I mean, I don't know. Would you? Yeah, I would probably do a Travis and a 7 for a 5.
For a 5?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, would I do it for a 6? I don't know. I'll leave that up to Darren Mougey.
I don't think I would either. But I just think especially putting myself in the front office's shoes, it makes so much more sense to just do that because they're not going to play him. But it is interesting to wonder about. Obviously, when speaking on the offensive line, I 100% agree with you. I DM'd you on Instagram when some offensive lining, it was a center too. The Jets don't necessarily, they just signed a center, but on top of that, they also have Joe Tippmann. So I knew they didn't necessarily need a center, but I literally was like, I'm sad. And you're like, dude, they have Tippmann. I was like, I know. I just get upset when an offensive lineman signs anywhere but the New York Jets. Want to know why, Matt? Because I still love the fat people, and I will never stop that. In all seriousness, I just want a good offensive line. I just am so sick of watching bad offensive lines on the Jets that I just want one of those just absolutely beastly offensive lines. So hopefully the Jets will figure that out. I have I'd love to see them draft a tackle, especially, as you said, rookie contract. Makes all the sense in the world. And guys, if you want to see them draft a tackle as well, or just another offensive lineman, slide into Matt's DMs and tell him that, and also subscribe to Jets Digest. I'm going to keep saying that until someone slides into your DMs. But guys, let us know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and slide into Matt's DMs.